Beach love. The sun dipped low in the sky, painting the horizon with shades of pink, orange, and gold. The salty breeze rustled through the palm trees, whispering secrets of the sea. Emma stood at the edge of the beach, the cool waves lapping at her bare feet. The sand beneath her was warm, and the sound of the crashing waves soothed her restless mind. It had been a long summer, and she had come to the beach to find peace. She needed to escape the busy city life, where the noise and the chaos had taken over her thoughts. A small beach house by the ocean seemed like the perfect place to find herself again. Little did she know, she would also find someone who would change her life forever. As Emma walked along the shore, her toes sinking into the soft sand, she spotted him. He was sitting on a large rock, sketching something in a notebook. His wavy hair, dark as the ocean's depths, framed his face, and his eyes, a striking shade of blue, were focused on the paper before him. He didn't seem to notice her approach, lost in his own world. There was something magnetic about him. His presence felt like the calm before a storm, like the quiet peace that always came before the chaos. Emma couldn't look away. She continued walking, her heart beating a little faster with each step. She stopped a few feet away, hesitant to interrupt his solitude. Her voice, when it finally came, was soft, almost like the ocean itself. "Are you drawing the sunset?" she asked, her curiosity getting the better of her. The young man looked up, a slight smile tugging at the corners of his lips. His gaze locked onto hers, and for a moment, time seemed to slow down. "I was," he replied, his voice calm and warm. "But now, I think I'm drawing you." Emma laughed, a little startled by his directness. "Me?" she asked, raising an eyebrow. "How?" He shrugged, his smile widening. "I mean, you just walked up like the sunset itself. I couldn't help but notice." Her cheeks flushed a soft pink, the words catching her off guard. "I wasn't expecting that," she said, laughing nervously. He set the pencil down on the rock and stood up, brushing the sand off his worn jeans. "I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. I'm Luke," he said, extending a hand toward her. "Emma," she replied, shaking his hand. The warmth of his touch sent a ripple of something she couldn't quite name through her. They stood there for a moment, the air between them thick with unspoken words. The sea crashed behind them, its rhythm steady and timeless. Emma wasn't sure what it was about this stranger, this artist, but there was something about him that felt right. Luke gestured toward the water. "Do you come here often?" he asked, his voice steady, yet curious. "Not really," Emma replied. "I just needed to get away for a while. The city was too much." He nodded, his expression softening with understanding. "I get that. The ocean has a way of clearing your mind, doesn't it?" Emma smiled, surprised by how much she agreed with him. "It does," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. They spent the rest of the afternoon walking along the beach, talking about everything and nothing at all. Luke shared stories of his life as an artist, how the beach had always been his escape, his muse. Emma spoke of her hectic life back in the city, how she had been running for so long without ever stopping to breathe. As the sky darkened and the stars began to appear, they found themselves sitting on the same rock Luke had been sketching on earlier. The air had cooled, and the sound of the waves was almost hypnotic. "I don't want this day to end," Emma admitted quietly, her gaze fixed on the shimmering sea. Luke looked at her, his expression tender. "It doesn't have to," he said softly. "We can make every moment here last, if we want to." In that moment, Emma realized she wasn't just finding peace by the ocean. She was finding something deeper, something unexpected. And as the stars twinkled above and the waves continued their eternal rhythm, she felt her heart opening, just a little bit, to the possibility of a new beginning, one that started with the ocean and the quiet love of a stranger named Luke. They didn't need words to know what was beginning between them. The beach had already whispered it to them both.